Right, so you are looking to start FPV and looking to buy a all-inclusive kit. You just don't know if you should buy the Aquila 16 or the Aquila 20. So in this video, we're just going to be comparing both of them real quick so you know the difference. Let's get going. Before I begin, if you can, please help me like and subscribe as this is going to keep my content flowing. Thank you. So starting by addressing the elephant in the room. So the biggest difference between the Aquila 16 and the Aquila 20 HD is that the Aquila 16 uses the traditional analog system and the Aquila 20 HD uses Beta FPV self-proprietary HD video system. And you can see from the footage right here, if you are all in for footage quality, then probably this is a no-brainer. You have to choose this one. So the Aquila 16 with the analog system is just going to be kind of like the traditional stuff that you will get for the most cheapest possible products. The next important determination is form factor. So obviously the Aquila 16 is going to be slightly smaller compared to the Aquila 20 tow motor. So basically the 16 is meaning for the propeller size. This is a 1.6 inch, then this is basically a 2 inch. And as for battery wise, the Aquila 16 runs on 1S battery and the Aquila 20 runs on 2S battery. So 2S is always going to be more superior and more powerful compared to 1S. So talking about size, you have to think about if you're going to be flying mainly indoors or mainly outdoors. So the Aquila 16, it's a lot smaller, it runs on 1S, a lot less powerful, so you will be able to fly indoor with this a lot more easier. But if you go outdoors, this is going to be feeling a little bit sluggish. So if your goal is to fly indoors, then yes, this is probably going to be your best option. But if you wanted to do a little bit hybrid and test yourself a little bit, because there is still going to be beginner features, which makes indoor flying less intimidating. So yeah, if you wanted a little bit more power and just kind of allow yourself to be able to use it anywhere, that the Beta FPV 20, the Powerful 20 is probably going to be the best option right here. Talking about the video system, there's an important thing that you have to know. So if you decided to go with the analog system, then yes, the benefit of it is that your goggles and your VTX analog systems are all compatible. So you can buy any brands, any goggles, they're all going to work. So you can pair your Aquila 16 to like a high-end goggles later on and it's still going to work. But if you decided to choose the Beta FPV HD system, just know self-proprietary means that it's only going to be working with the Beta FPV equipment at the moment. So Beta FPV HD goggles are only going to be working with the HD video system. So yeah, something that you have to pay attention of. But do know that Beta FPV is releasing their like VTX kit, so you can just buy a kit directly, and if you want to install it on other quads, it's going to work with their goggles. That's no problem. So talking about the battery, the design of the quad, they're all using those kind of self-proprietary design that you won't be able to find otherwhere unless you just buy for Beta FPV. Just know that the plugs is all the same. So BT 2.0 is the one that we use on Aquila 16. You can just get any BT 2.0 and just work with this quad. That's not going to be a problem. But because of the design of the quad, you are kind of limited to use the original battery in order to get the best kind of center of gravity. Otherwise, your battery is going to be sticking out or just going to be a little too thin that you just probably won't be able to get a good balance. And same goes for the Aquila 20, is that this one is using the Beta FPV 3.0. So as you can see right here, this is going to be the BT 3.0 plug. So Beta FPV is using this for their 2S battery, and I think they wanted to kind of dominate the market by using this. But yeah, still, I really hope that this one actually comes with the XT30. That will just going to be making life so much easier. So same, you will be able to use any BT 3.0 battery with this without any issues. But yes, you're going to go into a mounting problem. So I don't know if there's going to be some kind of 3D print that people can potentially do, so you can just mount your battery in here without having to buy the original Beta FPV batteries. But you know, it's not going to be too expensive anyway. So consider the Aquila 20 is going to be a newer quad. You can see that they are actually using some of the battery management system, which you will have a power button right here. So you can decide when you wanted to power on off your batteries. You can just turn it off like this and kind of remove it. That's it. As for the Aquila 16, you don't get this choice. Once you plug in the battery, it is powered on. As for the flight modes, both quads are going to be very similar. You will get the 3-speed control, so both are going to be getting slow, mid, and fast control. For flying modes, both are going to be getting normal mode, which with optical level sensors to help you stabilize your quad in mid-air. And you're going to get normal mode, which equals to normal angle mode on the regular FPV quad, and also the acro mode by default. Next, we are going to be comparing the radios. So on the left, we have the Lite Radio 2, and on the right, we have the Lite Radio 4, Aquila 16, Aquila 20. So talking about the similarity of these radios, yes, they are both gamepad style radios. They both support Express LRS, and they both have nano-size Hall effect gimbals. So although they are kind of the same thing, but I will say that the Lite Radio 4, the gimbals tuning is going to be much more better. There is a lot more damping in here compared to this one, just a little bit flimsy. So this one, I would say that at least the tuning wise, it's much better compared to this one. Talking about the form factor and the comfortness of holding it, the Lite Radio 2 is going to be obviously a more toy grade level radio, because yeah, the overall experience is that you just don't feel that this thing is very rigid. And when you're holding it, you can see that my hands at the bottom, there's less supports, and it's just a little bit not as easy to hold experience compared to the Lite Radio 4, because this one is a full-size gamepad, and when you're holding it, it just feels much better. If you wanted to pinch or if you wanted to use your thumb, it's just going to be a lot more easier to reach everything, and it's just less tiring when you're holding it. It just feels better in your hand. So looking at the front side of the radios, you both have power buttons. Yeah, this one is going to be, you just long press to power it on. This one, you have to double press to kind of like power it on. This is a much better experience because you have also your battery indicator and your binding indicator here. This is just all-in-one. And if you like power it off, makes the same sound. So besides the power button, a small additional touch is that you now have a lanyard holder instead of just complete nothing. So you'll be able to hang this on your neck. As for the charging purpose, both radio uses USB-C for charging, and there is an internal battery. And obviously the Lite Radio 4 internal battery is much bigger compared to the Aquila 16-1, which is the Lite Radio 2. Okay, while tilting the radio, looking at the switches, you can see that the Lite Radio 2 uses these kind of old type of stick switch. I don't know how you call this, but yeah, this is not there. This is no problem. It's going to work, and we see this quite often on our bigger radios like the Radio Master whatsoever. But these type of switches, if you just drop it on the floor like this, it's basically going to be broken. It's just not going to be very durable. And on the contrary, you can see that yeah, the Lite Radio 4 uses those kind of button switches. It is just going to be a lot more mature and premium feel compared to this one. This one, it's just a lot more cheaper. Okay, so next let's compare the goggles. So this is going to be the original goggles, smaller one for the Aquila 16, and this one is going to be the newer Aquila 20 HD system. By looking at it, this one is a lot more bigger, and this one a lot more smaller. And the thing I love the most is that you can see right here, for the Aquila 16, glasses, no possible. This one, yes, maybe, if you have the right size of glasses. This is a little bit big. I have a really huge glasses, but you can see that if you kind of snug it, it is still going to be fitting. So if you wear glasses, this is kind of like your only choice. This one, not so much. That is kind of like a really huge upgrade for me, for people that wear glasses. I finally feel that I can fit myself into it instead of having to figure out a way to kind of see. So very big upgrade right here. Yep. And also right here, this one has one antenna, this one has two antennas. Not going to make a huge difference because this is for analog and you probably won't be able to go far. This one is HD, you probably want two antennas to get the better reception, so yeah. Next, let's talk about the battery. So the original goggles was running the internal battery, which is probably just a 2S piece of battery, 1S maybe, and it's using USB-C to charge it. You just power it up right here. And as for the goggles of the Aquila 20 HD, yep, they are kind of like learning from DJI. They create a battery pack right here. So yep, you're going to be powering up the goggles right here, and you have to also plug in the cable. It's kind of like the DJI whatever. And the very good part of this box is that you are going to be able to use 18650 batteries to kind of power it up. So this is huge because you can just always swap this out instead of having to worry that this one may die one day. You can just buy these batteries. Good thing is that the kit actually includes these batteries in there, so you don't have to buy them. To charge it, you can just charge it using the USB-C plug right here. As for the DVR capabilities, both goggles will support SD cards, so you will be able to just record your footage on top of them. So yep, very, very nice. Next, for the beginner hover in place capabilities, the Aquila 20 is much better compared to the Aquila 16. As you can see, it's just going to be sticking itself in the air like this. I don't have to touch my sticks. But for the Aquila 16, the hovering capability is not as good. You can see that you're constantly required to put your hand on the stick, as it's just going to wobble around. As for landing, both quad is going to support beginner landing features in normal mode. That optical sensor is going to be sensing the floor and slowing down the motor automatically when you're just touching the ground, so no jumpy quads anymore. Alright, so that basically concludes the major difference of these two quads. And at the end, if you still want my recommendation of which one I will pick if I'm just completely a beginner, yes, I would probably pick neither and just go direct with building my own system, because yeah, that is going to give you a longer run. But if you just don't want to spend the extra time figuring out what works and what doesn't work and just wanted to start flying right away, or you just want to buy stuff, then yeah, probably go with the Pavel 20. I would say it's still going to be a better option. For the equipments that you are getting and the newer technology, this is going to be much more future-proof. And I do think that the Beta FPV HD system is going to be pretty promising, and I am foreseeing that they will be releasing more bind and fly quads that uses this system. So yes, I think that this is probably the better option. So that basically concludes this video, and if you have additional questions, feel free to leave it down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.